We're recording. Okay, well, welcome everyone to the Dare to Dream group. I hope that while you've been waiting for us to jump on with technical difficulties that you've been looking around at some of the testimonies and the posts in the group. And I am Diamond Ambassador Charlotte Seams. I'm here with my other Diamond Ambassador friends, and they're going to introduce themselves when it's their time to speak. But we just wanted to come on here and share with you our real stories. We're just regular, real people. None of us are network marketing guru kind of people that have done this professionally for years or anything. We are moms, first of all, and wives, and just have loved doing this business. It's been an unexpected business in a lot of ways. And I want to share my story, briefly for you first. And we have 12 children. They are now ages 12 to almost 36. And as you can imagine, that meant a tight budget for many years. My husband is a pastor, and he always has pastored smaller churches. And I was busy homeschooling. We're in our 31st year of homeschooling. And so I did not have time to have a job outside the home. I was busy feeding and clothing the multitudes at home. And so our pre-Plexus life was, I can hardly even describe it. God always took care of our needs, but it was a lot of times so stressful just to buy groceries. I'd always have to shop the clearance rack. Maybe you can relate to this. Things had to be on sale. I always had to look for the best bargain. And even then, it wasn't always enough. And I did at one point several years ago start a blog. And so I started selling some ebooks and coaching things that I created. But, really the expenses of all of that just really made the income I made, it wasn't really even worth my time. And it was hard work. I had to always be working. And so after I found Plexus and started this business, things completely changed. I didn't really expect to do the business, but once I love the products, I started sharing because I do that with everybody. I mean, everything that I love, I have to tell people. And so the income the first month shocked me. And I had something to compare it to because I had actually joined several other network marketing companies to get my products at a lower price. And I just had this dream in my heart. I had this drive that was an entrepreneurial drive to have my own business, to help my family, to be that Proverbs 31 woman. But every time I was disappointed. I ended up losing money pretty much every time. I was disappointed in the comp plan. I didn't really do that much with it because it didn't seem to be worth it. And so then when I found Plexus, it was so different. For one thing, the income. Okay, as a Diamond Ambassador making multiple 5 figures per month. That is, I make more now in a month than my husband had made all those years in an entire year. And so you can think about the difference that made in our family's life. And we're not talking diamonds and furs. We're talking braces for my kids' teeth. We're talking groceries on the table, being able to just relax in what we were able to do and everything not be continually scrounging of where the next penny was going to come from. And so another thing that I found that was different about Plexus besides the income was just the integrity of the company. That's one of my favorite things about this company is the integrity. Now, I told you that my husband is a pastor. We would never put our name on something that didn't have integrity. We have to be so careful about our influence over people. That's really important to us. And so Plexus, you're not going to be embarrassed that you joined Plexus or ashamed of the company. I have loved that. I've been in the company 4.5 years now, and I still feel that way. I feel that it's way even stronger now because I've seen the company go through different situations and always do the right thing that was best for their ambassadors. And so I just love that. And the other thing is the culture of the company. When I first joined, I was put in some Facebook groups for my team. And I was really kind of shocked that the culture and the atmosphere was so different than anything I had been exposed to before. Other companies I had been in were real pushy in sales and, do this, but then they kind of just left me out here to do it by myself. I was so pleasantly surprised at the culture and the friendships in the groups. I told my husband shortly after joining, these are my people. It was just a lot of really nice, great people who were interested in helping people, and that's who was in these groups. And there was plenty of training and everything provided. And I know some of the other ladies are going to talk about that too, my dear friends here. But anyway, so I just wanted to give you the short version of what Plexus has done for my family, from barely having enough to buy groceries. And back in the days when I was buying diapers, I remember having $40 a week left for food. After I bought, diapers and toilet paper and those essentials of life. And that was when we had 8 children at home, and eventually we had 12. And so I know what it is to have that huge tight budget and then go to, as a diamond ambassador with Plexus, or shoot, as a ruby ambassador, as a gold ambassador, several $100s or several $1,000s a month made a massive difference in my family. And I'm not the only one. It's happening for lots of people. So I want to introduce my next friend to talk, and that is Eva Schmidt up in Canada. So Eva.
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad I get to be here and share with you guys. Charlotte, thank you for sharing that story. It's so heartwarming to hear that and how your life was changed through this. And you guys, we're just here because we want this for you so badly. And we want to see your life change too, because on a daily basis, we see people struggling and people looking for something that could help their families financially. So we had to share. We had to talk about it. So my story started almost 5 years ago when my friend Kristen, who I met on Facebook through a Facebook group, like homeschooling mamas. And when I heard about it, when she told me about it, I was like, oh, that's one of those pyramid thingies. Like, that's all I knew about network marketing. Not a pyramid scheme. Definitely not. Those are illegal. And our company, our business was just approved in Canada as a legit way to make money. So, and our products are Health Canada approved, which is awesome. So when she messaged me, I just thought, oh, she fell for one of these things. Like, I thought she was smart. But when I looked into the products, I was really amazed, because I was very into health and natural health and wanting to do things naturally for my family. And when I looked into it, I realized this is something that everybody needs. Like, I can't think of anybody who can't use these products because they're so good and they're so good for your core health. So, but I'm not selling anything. Like, I told my husband, I am not doing this. I had been looking for something from home. We had been for 5 years looking for something, but I was looking for something, I could work with my hands, but that was like a lot of work, So I wanted, I think it was Kristen that described to me how this business actually works and that it's legit. And I got over my fear of not sharing with people because I didn't want to be seen as a seller. As all that put aside, I was like, okay, my husband and I sat down and we're like, what do we want? And how do we want our life to look different in 1 year? We made a plan to do this, give it a 1 year shot, and work every single day as hard as we could and share with as many people as we could. And I was like 2 months in, and I knew these are just like Charlotte said, these are my people. This is what I want to do. Like, people were getting results before me. And so I was just pumped. My first check, I think, was $30. Like, it came like the next week because somebody bought a welcome kit or something. And I was like, okay, everything after here is like money I made out of nowhere. Like, I didn't even have to buy ingredients to make my body butter to sell. That's what I was doing for a while, making herbal things. And I just couldn't even believe it. So I saved up money and we went, I think it was 4 months later, we went on our honeymoon. For our 10th anniversary, we had never went on a honeymoon. And I took my husband to Cuba for a honeymoon. It was awesome, you guys. And so I want that for everybody to be able to now, 2 years after that, I became a diamond in the company and worked every day, talked to new people every day, and just had this passion for wanting everybody to experience the same thing. Now, thinking back to what it was like before and how I was home alone with my 3 little kids because Andrew would be gone 3 weeks at a time. He's a helicopter pilot. People think helicopter pilots make a lot of money. That's not true. It's just a regular job. And I was at home like all by myself for 3 weeks at a time with my kids. And I was like, I want to travel and go places with my family, but my husband is always working. We need to change this. So 2 years later, becoming a diamond, we get to travel. We get to go places. My kids tell me that, or they know that they are so blessed and so lucky. They know that. I remind them, you guys, this is not what it was like before. I remind them because we need to tell other families about this so that they can experience more time together. Our lives are so, our culture in the world right now is so crazy. People have to fight so hard to have time with their families. And here's a solution that we're sharing with you guys that we want for you. So our life has changed through this business, and I want to share a couple things that are my favorite things about the business. I love what Charlotte kind of already said about the One Plexus spirit. We call it One Plexus because we all work together. Charlotte does not benefit from me in any way. I do not benefit from her in any way, but here we are sharing together because our stories help each other and our teams and everyone that they know. So we're always sharing information, and we never keep things secret from each other. We're not competing, we're working together. I love that our president made the statement that he wants our faith to be first, and then our family, and then our business. And I love that that our company is a legacy company. We get to hand down our companies to our businesses to our children. They set it up so that we can give it to our children when we're gone. Isn't that so amazing? Okay. I want Brenda Martin to share because she is one of my mentors, same with Charlotte, and I'm so excited to hear what she's going to share. Go ahead, Brenda. Brenda has a dog in her car right now. I just want to say that.
Brenda has a crazy story today, you guys. I'm traveling with the family, one of our Plexus Freedoms. We got to go down to St. Louis and stay in a hotel with the whole family. Right there, that speaks volumes. Never happened before Plexus. And take our kids over to the Arch Park where they watched their big brothers perform in the air show this week, or yesterday, the 4th of July. But guys, weren't these ladies amazing? Weren't they just like, they made me want to cry, and they, like, what they're telling you guys is the truth. I've watched their journeys from the beginning. And what they are saying is absolutely the truth. And I think one of my favorite parts is the way Charlotte's stressed that Plexus is different. If you've never done network marketing before, like me, you won't know, you don't have anything to compare it to, but maybe you had an impression like I did before. And so my husband was super skeptical, drug his feet about, the products made sense to him, and we were excited about that, but he's like, we kept our distance from one of those things for 20 some years. I'm not about to touch it with a 9-foot pole. That was what he told me in the beginning. So I started skeptical. I had even more skeptical husband, but he sat down and researched our comp plan, and he said, whoa, this is fair from a business perspective, because we were business owners before, in debt, struggling, terrible, loss of sleep because of it all. That's another story. But he said, if anybody can do this, you can do it. You go for it. You give our family that freedom. Let's get out of debt. And that's where we're at today. And so what these girls have told you about what it looks like for them, that's what it looks like for me too. Amazing, incredible income that would blow your mind if you could see my check, honestly. That's not what I'm here to talk about only, except I want you to know that. I want you to keep that in mind. But what I'm here to tell you is the fact that I haven't forgotten what it was like. I haven't forgotten the sleepless nights, the times of telling the kids no, the times of telling them, sorry, we cannot do that because we don't have the money, the times I'd see friends around me struggling I couldn't share with them. I haven't forgotten what it's like to wonder if we're going to lose our farm. My husband talking about going and getting a second job. I haven't forgotten what it's like to, I'm sorry, I didn't expect this, I honestly didn't. But I haven't forgotten, you guys. It's been 5 years ago since I started this business. But There are times we remind the younger children who don't remember it really that well. I still remind them, just like God told the children of Israel to always tell your children what it used to be like, what slavery was like in Egypt, and remind them of the great things God has done. And that's what we've done, because our family prayed together for an answer. We wanted our lives to have more freedom. And I want to tell you guys what it's like now to earn an amazing, incredible income. It's like this. You don't think about money. You don't stress about money. You're not always worried about money. You don't lay awake at night thinking about money. You don't even really talk about money with the kids, except to talk to them about how to give and save and value and make the good choices. We don't worry about money. I want you guys to imagine that, because that's what's probably hit me the most. I don't think about it. We need something, we go get it. We see a need around us, we give to it. We want to go take a trip, we take a trip. We want to get a hotel, we get a hotel. We were able to bless some people while we were down there just because we have to give. And that has probably been what has meant the most to me in this, is the fact that, we worry too much about those things. And if we're willing to do that different crazy thing like we three have done, it's called network marketing, it's called doing a business from home, it's called telling your friends and family about something you're passionate about. Doesn't that sound like something that you guys kind of do anyway? I mean, who doesn't tell our friends about what we love? But we're getting paid for it. We were willing to step out and do that crazy thing, and now we're living that extraordinary life. And not just us. We have hundreds and hundreds in this company doing this. I have thousands on my team earning an amazing income that gives their family breathing room and more. They're paying their mortgage, they're paying their car payment. I could go on and on. If we could even add up what Plexus is helping in spreading the gospel and in missions and in charities, whoa, mind-blowing right there. But what I want to leave with you guys, because I could go on all night, is that this business is from the heart. Never, never think of it as selling. Never think of yourself as a salesperson when you decide to join us. We don't want salespeople. We're looking for people that want to share from the heart to make a difference in the lives around you. The other thing that our president said, that was our CEO, he said we want to make a difference in the middle class of America. I mean, who says that? I want to tell you the truth. They are making that difference. They truly are. And the last thing that I want to leave with you, this business has been for me as a mama ministry. I was exhausted. I could hardly go. At 42 years old, I think that's what I was when I joined the company, 41. I felt like a 50-year-old woman, or 60. I don't know what that feels like, but I felt ancient. And I creaked and I groaned and I moaned. I did. I would sigh. And the family got tired of me sighing, and I could hardly get a breath. I had anxiety. I loved my life, but I had a lot of physical things weighing me down. And to get my life back, my family's so thankful to have mama back, have energetic mama, have happy mama, not stressed out mama, not overwhelmed mama, not a no mama. And that's what this is for me. It's a mama ministry. And so if you have a heart to help families be stronger, this is for you. And okay, I'm going to turn it over back to you, Charlotte or Eva, because I'm starting to preach. And I wasn't even planning to say half the stuff I said, so I hope this is encouraging to people.
Thanks, Brenda. I want Charlotte to close, but I want to quick share something really fun that I just thought of that I get to do now. When I go to the grocery store, I used to before Plexus, I would be like, I don't know if I get organic strawberries. You guys in Canada, we don't get a lot of fresh produce all year round. It's like winter, 9 months out of the year. And I want strawberries. And I'm like, okay, I can get 2 of the non-organic ones, or I can get 1 of the organic ones. And that was a hard decision to make, because I knew how important it was to get good stuff for my kids. And now I don't even go and look at the other ones. I'm getting like 8 boxes of these organic strawberries right now because they look so good. And I never even think of it. And I get to, when I fill my Amazon cart, I can just check out instead of like filling it and then emptying the cart. We've all done that. So those are just some fun things. You guys, it's such a relief to not have that feeling of dread all the time. Like how I have filled my cart with groceries, walked to the till, my card didn't work, and I pretended I had another card in the car that I was going to go get, so I didn't have to say that I can't get this, so I wouldn't come back. But I've done that, right? You guys, I don't know how many people you have, like, who of you has done that, but I've done that. So that's why this is such a big deal to us, you guys. We know what it feels like. Charlotte, go ahead.
Okay, and just listening to their stories, I have not forgotten either the 30 years of barely making it. And we were grateful, and we made it with God's grace. But this is a completely different life. Tonight, when we get off of this call, I'm taking several of my teenagers to a late movie, the opening night of a Marvel movie. And there was no way we could have afforded to do that. We took our kids out to eat like once a year. I remember, I'll never forget the first time we went to a steakhouse, and my kids could not figure out why it was taking so long to get the food. They had never been to a non-fast food restaurant. And so it was funny at the time, but it was also sad. And one last thing about this business is that the last 2 years, I ended up with 3 surgeries. I hurt my foot, and it ended up with a spinal thing and all this stuff. And I had to have these surgeries, and I wasn't able to work as much, but I still got a paycheck every month. And my paycheck went up every month, and you do not get that in any other business. The way residual income works, I was being paid on work I had done when I worked hard, the years before that. But that is another advantage of this business model. It's a genius business model. And so I hope that you've seen that we are all real people. We're real moms, women of integrity, and we're sharing this with you because we want this with you. We want to give you the vision for what this can be, because we have seen the night and day difference in our lives with this business, with this company, and these amazing products. And so we want you to join us in this, and we will help you every step of the way. You get back with the person who invited you to this event, and they'll help you get started. And we can't wait to see you. So good night, everyone. Thank you for your patience and while we were trying to get on here.
Yes. Good night, folks.